Hey there, welcome to the virtual event for the Dialed In Living. And today we're talking about 5 digital marketing strategies to grow your brand and business in 2020. And I'm Julie Herndon, if you don't already know me. And this is a re recording of the first half of the virtual meeting. So I'm going to run through to catch you up to the live portion. So we had a technical glitch. So I am going to start the presentation. The first of the meeting, Jamie just welcomed everyone, and we had a great many people on live. So we'd love to invite you back to the next virtual event to live. So again, 5 digital marketing strategies to grow your brand and business in 2020. And today's topics, we're going to choose the social media platforms that are right for your business. So we're going to go over those, and we're going to how to optimize your social media profiles for the great first impression. Create content that drives engagement, discover tools that make design and scheduling a breeze, and create a plan to execute consistency. So I'm Julie Herndon. I've owned my own business for 25 plus years. I started my first business at 23 and have always been in some form of marketing. I specialize in social media marketing, web design, digital marketing, Facebook ads, online course creation, any type of online digital sales, creating digital products. I create information products and training for my business, graphic design, and consulting and training. So I do one-on-one. I help set up businesses, anything and everything. So it's very nice to meet you if we haven't met in person yet. So today, social media, through social media, you can reach and interact directly with your online connections. You can make new online connections. You want to position yourself as an authority is one of the main when you're in business for social media marketing. You're trying to build strong relationships. You want to drive traffic and gain exposure. And most of all, you want to generate leads and sales. So the things that we're going to talk about today are going to facilitate those. So there's tons of things that you can do for social media. Obviously, people just think, well, we're just going to post, and that's not always all that you need to do. So first, we're going to talk about some stats and why you should be on social media. I assume that you're already on social media, but there are some pretty staggering statistics. So 3.484 billion people use social media. Users spend 2 hours and 23 minutes on average a day on social media. Facebook has over 2 billion monthly active users and 140 million businesses. What this says is specifically Facebook and a lot of social media is good for business to business or business to consumer advertising and networking and trying to reach your community. 76% of American consumers purchased a product after seeing a brand's social post. If that isn't reason enough to be on social media, I don't know what is. So most people are upset today because Facebook has become a pay-to-play system. Obviously, they have to monetize. They want to monetize. But you actually can grow organically. You can put out good organic content and grow your networks. Instagram is one of the highest growth for free right now that there is. So we're going to talk about the networks really quick. After we can talk about the biggest complaints. So in what I do, I make social media planners and social media content for customers, and I help them with setting up the presence in that. So the 3 number 1 things. So all of them are about equal. I don't know what to post. I don't have time to post, and I can't figure out the tech. So don't let these things stop you because you don't know what to post. You can learn. You don't have time to post. You can get strategies to batch things and make good use of your time. We're going to talk about some tools and resources for that. And you can't figure out the tech. Well, anything can be learned, and a lot of the tech today is super simple. So it's intimidating to get started, but it's simple once you know what you're doing. So, and in social media, just like in life, the only thing that's constant is change, and that is true of social media as well. Um, there's always new networks, like TikTok has just come out. Snapchat was the big thing. Um, there's new tools and features every single day. There's always a new software. Like I have my own software. There's new algorithm every single day. Everyone thinks the algorithm is the death. We're going to talk about that as well. And then there's new gurus and people telling you what to do out there all the time. So don't let change scare you. Basically, you want to embrace the change. And if you put in these few things that I'm going to teach you today, you will be successful. The algorithm is one of the biggest complaints with people right now, specifically with Facebook and Instagram. When it wasn't as large, obviously with 2 billion people on, you know, your feed as you're scrolling is only so long, and you've got so many people posting. So your feed is fighting for content. So you can only consume so much. So what you see is what you interact with. So the more you interact with something, the more you're going to see it. And that's what you've got to get in your mind for your customers. You want them to interact with your content. So what can you put out that makes them want to interact? That's the sweet spot of what you're trying to get to. So with that, the algorithm can be your best friend. So how the algorithm works is, let's say you have 100 likes on your Facebook page. Okay, so you got 100 people that like it. So typically somewhere between 3 and 6%, when a post is first posted, Facebook opens it up, let's say, to 3%. So that means 3 people see your post. Okay, if no one interacts with it, basically, then that post is dying a slow death. So we have got to get people to like and comment and share. A like is not worth as much as it used to be worth. Today, it's the comments and the shares are what count. So you are wanting to position your content in a way that is going to get people to comment. So you're going to ask engaging questions. You're going to end with a question. You're going to prompt them with something that they want to say. People want to talk about themselves. They just do. So if you ask a question, a lot of times people will answer. So we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get into content. So right now we're going to talk about the networks and what is good for which networks are good. So there still are the main big 6. So you've got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Pinterest. And this will be a download in the download section, so you can go through and look at these stats. But Facebook, obviously, we know is the king, period, and probably will always be the king. So it is the largest social media platform. Again, there's 140 million businesses on it. The types of content are so vast that you can share there, so from text posts to images, GIFs, videos, stories, live streams, events. There's groups to interact with. So it is the most amazing network for any business. So number 1, you have to be on Facebook. And in Facebook, you've got your profile, you've got pages, and you've got groups primarily that you are going to interact with. Next is Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. So it has been growing by leaps and bounds. We now have 1 billion people that use Instagram every single month. 500 million people use Instagram stories every day. Stories are where it's at on Instagram. Again, the feed is only so big. So the more that gets posted, you can only see so much. And it works the same way as Facebook's algorithm. So it rewards engagement. And again, some countries are hiding likes, and I imagine they will be hiding them here before long. 37% of American adults use Instagram. That's a huge number. That is a huge number. So, and then on all of these platforms, the amount of shopping that is done is amazing. So, and on this, 130 million Instagram users tap on shopping posts every month. So people are selling straight up from Instagram. So if you have e-commerce, if you sell anything, if you are a beauty, style, any niche like that. Any niche can thrive in Instagram just about, but it is heavily image and video based, and the customers or the users actually are looking for that type of content. So it is right for you if you're in those. Twitter has 145 million monetizable daily active users. Twitter in our market is not as widely used as the other ones. It tends to be a younger demographic, many more, even though I know Facebook's very political, but Twitter is way more political than even Facebook. It's very heavily brand driven and brand ambassadors. So, but with it is, if you're a business, I would say, if you had to choose two, I would say Twitter for our market would not be one of them. But it can be good. You do use hashtags on it. There's a ton of video being watched from it. But another way that you can use all of these is to use a social media scheduler, and then basically repurpose, like that same post can go to Twitter. So that would be the case of, but it depends on your market as to whether you can actually grow with Twitter in our market. LinkedIn is business to business. It is very business posts. You do not share the same type of content on LinkedIn that you share everywhere else. You don't share as many times either. When we talk about content for Facebook, there will be, we'll talk about how many times a day and things like that. So, but with LinkedIn, very business to business, it is an excellent community to find business prospects and talk with businesses, engage with them, and highlight. But it's not a very promo based site, so you don't want to do a lot of sales with it. But last on YouTube, on LinkedIn, is that your decision makers are on LinkedIn. So if you need to get business services, if you have a business service, that's where you want to be. YouTube, obviously video. YouTube has 2 billion logged in monthly users. That's a huge number. 500 hours of video every minute uploaded. It's a crazy number. There are people making bank with their YouTube channels, millions, because of ads. So it's a tremendous place for your ads to be seen, and it's a tremendous place if you start a channel, depending on what your channel is. There's huge opportunity for training. There's all this over the shoulder. There's just highly entertaining content that you can monetize. So depending on your niche, YouTube might be right for you. And last of the big 6 is Pinterest, and Pinterest has 335 million active users. It tends to be popular with women and moms. It has tons of craft content, style content geared towards women. It is used for business. Like in my business, I sell planners and social media training, so I am able to get exposure and sell from the platform. So research it and see, depending on who your niche is, if it's women, moms that tend to be crafty, or beauty or style, then it would be right for you. It will work in other cleaning. If anything that somebody wants to learn how to do at home, you can advertise through there. So check that one out if it's something. Again, it isn't per se, they don't want to be known as a social media network. I'm including it here because people think of it as that. It is primarily a way to get traffic to your blogs, to your website. It is a search engine to push people to your website. So how it works is you write a blog, you make optimized images, and the images push back to sell or entertain or just teach someone something. So it's a traffic driver. All right, your social media presence. So once you decide your networks, and again, you can use all of them. Time is the concern, and creating the content for them. So typically people suggest to choose 2 to 3 that they can really maintain and work well. One of them must be Facebook. So you have to be on Facebook. Otherwise, you can choose your other ones. And again, if you've got time or you use automation, then by all means go for it for all of them. If you can create, and again, like YouTube, you have to create video. So now we have our presence. So now we're going to optimize it. And why we need to do this, number one, is first impressions matter. So when someone comes to your Facebook profile, so you've got a profile that's your personal. You're not, Facebook doesn't want you doing business on your personal page. You have a business page to do that from. That's not to say that you can't share content and you can't get away with some of it, but you are not supposed to be. And then you interact in groups. So you think about, as you're interacting from your profile in groups and on pages and talking to other people, your profile picture is being seen. And then whatever you're talking about is being seen. So if you're networking in online groups and you want your profile picture, that's the first impression. Okay, so we're going to switch in just a moment. I'm going to switch back off of this presentation and show you live, but it's your profile image, your cover image. So all networks have some type of header cover image, your headline, bio, about. You only have a certain amount of characters to get in what it is that you do. It needs to be no fluff, very specific about what you do, because you only have 3 to 5 seconds, or probably at this point 1 to 3 seconds, for people to see what you do. Your vanity URL, so all of like facebook.com/sociallyinc is my Facebook URL. And then website links, and with the website links, that would be like links to your website, that any freebie that you have, any website that you have. Some people have multiples. You can link them out to your Instagram as well. And then images. So you've got in Facebook, you've got the 5 featured images that are in that block. And think about the images that you're putting out, and do they portray, even though you're not using your personal profile for business, do you want the business people that may connect with you through a group or whatever to see everything that's on your page? So think about your privacy settings and think about the images that you are putting out. Again, you can share your content from your Facebook page or group if the group is open. So that would be a good way to get content out there. So I'm going to break from this just a second, and I'm going to show you. So Instagram, and I'll show you just a couple. We're not going to go through all of them, but I do want to show you. All right, so my profile image is the same throughout all of my social media channels. That way, as people, so if I change it on one, I change it on all of them. You can see that I actually branded with my logo. So that picture, I'm like holding something, so that I just put it in there. It's like attention grabbing. So that's what you're trying to do, is grab someone's attention. The name is Socially Inclined, and this is your title here. So I'm telling people to get socially inclined. So I'm using that as the name. Here is my bio, and it is business. So, and you have very few, like I'm using every single character, and you can see that it's very short. And a lot of people stack and have them longer here. So mine is business strategist, which is what I am, or marketing. I could change it to marketing strategist, but business, because I help people set up other parts of their business as well. So I teach entrepreneurs step by step how to grow and sell online. I create social media content and post planners, and free planner with a little thumbs down to go to the link. All right, so if you know a lot about Instagram, you know that links do not work in posts. So you will see all the time, link in bio, link in bio, link in bio. So here's a quick tip to optimize further your Instagram. So if you click here, you will see there's softwares that do this, like Linktree, that you can use for this, that will create all of these links. So typically, the only way to do this is you put out a post, and then you change the link, because you get one link, you change the link in your bio to whatever you're advertising that day. Okay? unless you have shoppable posts. Shoppable posts and the swipe up feature in stories are actually a caveat to that. But so this is on my website, and I just happened to build a separate page. So like these are the things that I have on a flash sale right now. These are my current freebies. So if they click on this, so if I was talking in a post, link in bio, look for the freebies section, they're going to click on this, and then they're going to see how to sign up for my free Get Socially Inclined Toolbox. So I'm collecting their name and email address. So the whole reason you're using social media is to bring people to you to sell something or buy something from you or use your services. Okay, so you're going to think about your overall purpose in social media. So you have to walk them through first meeting you online, virtually meeting you online. 2, how do you get them to know, like, and trust you and want to buy from you? All right, so having a freebie is another way to get them one step closer to that goal. So also with social media, you do not own Facebook, obviously. Obviously, we wish we did, but we don't own Facebook. So all of the content and everything that you've done there could go away in a second. All right, so you do own your email list. You are able to keep those people together and email them with offers and what's going on and have a newsletter and whatever. So part of your strategy for social media should be to try to move people off of social media. Yes, we're going to interact with them there all they want to interact, but we also want to move them off into your email list. So that is what the purpose of this lead magnet, opt-in, whatever. You'll hear lots of different verbiage for what these things are, but it is basically a bribe of content or something free to get on your email list that then you can further build a relationship with. You are trying to build know, like, and trust. So let me pull up Facebook real quick just to show you. And I won't pull any other networks up, but if you see Facebook, you'll see that same image. And again, when it's seen really small like that, it still kind of stands out. So like if I post in groups or whatever, it makes people want to click on it, or that's my thought anyway. So whatever you can do. There's all this psychology about colors, like yellow stands out. And like, so you'll see, like, notice this after this meeting, Facebook ads, you'll see a bright yellow and it just stands out in the feed. It's called pattern interrupt. So this is an idea like of pattern interrupt. So again, header, this is my personal profile. I am actually do have a cover photo that is pertaining to my business. And this is straight up business. It doesn't show the website or anything, but this is a product that I sell, Your Social Plan. It's a social media dashboard with content that I provide for people every single month. So one trick to here, and you're going to get a checklist so that you can go through and do all of these things. But one thing that people don't realize is if I happen to click on this, it actually will pop up, and you can actually create a description here, and you can actually have the link that goes out to your website here. So tell them whatever you want to tell them and get them to the website so that they can sign up. All right. Again, this is my personal profile. And again, you're not supposed to use it for business. I am here. So don't necessarily use yours for business in such a stark way. So, but you can work it out. You can have a picture with your hand on your hip and some, message about what you do is typically what I have on there, but I was running a promotion. So here, very short intro right here. This is so short. So you need to use every bit of characters here. So this is what I ended up with: social media marketing, websites, and branding. Your Social Plan and Socially Inclined. It's my two major websites, and it's what I do. So you don't have a lot of room. And then you can see that you can have all of the links. So links to, my owner is Socially Inclined. Access Web Technologies is the website side of the business. So I'm linking there. And then I've got links. You can build other links. So link to my Instagram, a link to all of my other websites, even though I have them up here. This is because of in some cases when people come, that is above the fold. And we're talking about above the fold, like back to the newspaper days, it's like what shows up, like before you have to scroll. So above the fold, you want the most important things above the fold. All right. And then same with your profile picture, you can actually put text in your profile picture as well on the description there. And these are the your images. Now, I do not have mine branded for business. This is my personal page. So, but some people do, but you're not supposed to. All right, let me show you really quick the my page, and then we'll look at the group real quick. Okay, page, same thing. If you click it, you can see that I'm telling them how to get it. So you see it's not in here, so they can click and straight and go back to that opt-in offer for that. From here on your page, you can actually style this page. So if you're heavy video content, you can actually style it and it looks sort of like YouTube where it's got all your videos there. So you've got options. If you're a shop, then you can show it in shop view. So if you are an e-commerce person or you have something for sale in your website, you should have it linked. Most e-commerce platforms have a way to link and sync with Facebook to show these products in your shop, in an online store for Facebook. This basically, if you were to click this, let's see. All right, so skincare bundle. All right, so this is a bundle of content that I sell, and if I were to go, it's going to open up on the site that I sell it at, and then they can go and buy it straight from there. All right, so there it is, and they can buy it right from there. So amazing features that Facebook has. Research them and use them all. Use everything you can. That's a one-time setup. So anything that you can do once and set up once and then get the benefit from it over and over, you should do. All right, so close that. And you can see it's like well organized. You can see all of the, all of the content. You can also customize your button. It can be to send a message and like send them into Instant Messenger. It can be sign up for something. Like this could be sign up for this offer and it could take them to that. So think about what the end game is with who you're trying to attract. And then last, let me show you. So a group, same thing. You can have groups that are private or open. So this one happens to be private, but again, you've got your cover photo. You can interact as the page, so the page owns it, but you can interact as your page or the person. And again, you've got, they've really gotten into where you can use units to deliver content. I turned these off because I had some content in here, but basically it works almost like an online course. You can lead them through, you can put video in there or whatever right here in Facebook inside your group. But you can see branding again, logo. So all of my content basically sort of looks the same. So, or is branded throughout. Let me go back to present. And from here, so we talked about your profile image. We talked about a lot of this. I'm just going to run through it really quick. So your profile image is the first thing people see. It should be primarily it should be a chest up just because of the size, and it's in that circle. So if you do a full length body, they can't really see you. So you want to try to focus on your face so that they can see you. So preferably if you're using it for business, something that looks more professional, not just a selfie. You can do your own pictures. Cameras today, iPhones, Samsungs take amazing pictures. So get someone else to take it, pose a little bit, and take a good headshot to use. But people are using it. They're making that first impression from that. So we talked about banners and covers and how it draws the eye, and if you can click it and it'll give you the more information. So all of these networks have different sizes as well. So your cover photos are different. Later we're going to talk about Canva, and you can we're going to talk about it for posts, but there's also, you can create your covers for your profile, for your profile, for sure, for your page and for your group, and for events as well, and for Facebook ads. So you can almost create virtually any social network header inside Canva. All right, and then the headline we talked about, you only have a certain amount, no fluff in it. You want to speak as concisely as you can, frankly, about what you do, how you help someone, like what you do for them. Everyone is in it for what's in it for me. They want to know what you can do for them. So that is what it is, what I do for you. So that's what you're putting there. And then the emojis just help to draw the eye. The vanity URL, we talked about that. Mine is /Socially Inc. If at all possible, make it the same across all of the networks that you use. That is not always possible, so you can use like a dash or something like that to try to make it the same. I have a caveat to that because I couldn't get anything close on Twitter, so I had to do. So, an example, mine across the border, Socially Inc., but on Twitter, someone has it and isn't using it, but so I use SOC inclined. So it's irritating, but that's what it is. Website links, again, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to draw traffic off of the social media networks onto your website or opt-in, freebie, whatever. You're trying to get them to move through the process of getting to know you. Getting to your website is a big step in getting to know you. All right, and then I'm not going to go over all of this, but I did include a Facebook, all of these checklists for all of the 6. So just for you to just go look and make sure that all of this is done. So we're going to go through these really quick. So, all right, and then next we talk about social media content. And most of this is, we're going to talk about the types of content. And when you're thinking about your content, to save time, obviously social media is a huge time suck. It just is, but is necessary. So you have to weigh in the balance of the benefit. If you use social media correctly, there is a tremendous amount of benefit that you get from it. So with regards to content, you're trying to establish yourself as an authority or as a thought leader, you want to post high value content, from educational type content, asking thought-provoking questions, inspirational content that actually speaks to the person's problem. So, you can post, and we create them. I do Your Social Plan. We create just general inspiration, but I train the people that use it to use it to speak to what their person's problem is or what their pain is. Okay, so like right now with the COVID virus going on right now, the social media climate's a little bit different. Everyone's on, but people have a little anxiety about being like sell online. So, and with the inspirational, you want to address where someone's at, if they're having anxiety, if they're having depression, whatever, even your clients. So I have positioned a lot of our content to say, well, while you're, make the most, so one of mine is downtime is the best time to learn a new skill. If your people are moms, then put out content that they can utilize with their kids. It doesn't have to, your content, number one, should not 100% be about you. It should be about your client. And typically I suggest to choose 5 different things that revolve around that client. So one of them being how you help them, and then tertiary things that complement those things. So if it's mom content, like things they can do with their kids, things, time savers at the house, hacks. So it depends on what your niche is as to how to bring those in. But again, there's a tremendous amount of content that you can create that isn't boring, that will be a huge benefit and shine you in this light of the expert. And so best practices, again, is to establish yourself as the thought leader, as the expert. be careful about selling. So the 80-20 rule so applies in your posts. So 80% of your content should be value-driven content, and 20% or less should be promo. That's not to say that you can't work in your product in the educational high-value content. You can reference it, you can talk about it, you can put testimonials from people and how it helped them. Stories on social media sell. So you are wanting to tell stories, things that are going to captivate people or grab their attention. So provide helpful, insightful information to your audience. So just with content as well, don't get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and be like, oh, I have to post today. I am a batcher, always been a batcher, but batching, just because I am doesn't mean that you want to be, but I'm going to make a case for why you should be. Social media, it takes so long just to sit and like write a good, compelling social media post. But if you get in the groove and you've got your little buckets of 5 buckets of types of content or categories of content that you're going to write, you can write 6 posts at one time on this one topic, and then you can write 6 posts along this because they complement each other. You're in the groove. So you can sit down, I always suggest 2 straight hours, block it off, put it in your calendar, and write and create content for 2 hours. Start with your buckets of content, create those, whatever they are, and you can have more than that, and you can have less than that, and there'll be spin-off type content that doesn't exactly fall in any of those buckets, but sit down and batch your content. We're going to look at Canva in just a bit on how to, you could do 30 posts at one time. I suggest with the batching, again, with the saving of the time, is to create post templates in Canva. So I've got 30 different looks. I had one pulled up. Let me scroll ahead. And I guess since we're talking about Canva, we're moving on to tools, but and batching and saving time. So this is kind of getting intermingled here. But with the tools, some of the tools that can help you with batching and saving time one is Canva design tools that will ultimately save you a tremendous amount of time. Number 2 would be social media automation, where you can post. So you load it up and it posts to 6 different networks at one time. That's a lot of bang for your buck. If you don't want to do the automation software, you can go ahead and batch ahead in the app on your phone. You can pull up Facebook and you can go ahead and schedule out. You can schedule way ahead. Like I think it's more than a year if you want to. So do the content however you need to schedule it. Go ahead and get it scheduled. That way when you wake up that next morning at 7 o'clock and you're knowing, oh my goodness, I've already posted today or whatever. It's done. I don't have to do it. So that's an amazing feeling. So, so the resources that we're talking about for social media, there's tons of them. Like if you go to the apps on your phone, there's all of these. Like Adobe Spark is an app. Ripple creates video. There's all types of programs, but don't drown in the tech. Find something that you like. Find something that a lot of other people use so that you can get help from someone else. I suggest Canva to start because it is a very easy interface, and we're going to look at it now. The automation software is, again, I have Socially Inclined. There's Hootsuite, there's Buffer. There's no shortage of automation softwares, but you want to, when you're evaluating them, you want to see what's the fastest and has the most resources for you to use to save time. So we're going to back off. We did this, I think, is where we're going to pick up live with the Canva in the live session, I think is where we came here. So I will show just quickly, just in case I can't remember where the first part stopped, but Canva is, I have a pro account. It is $10 a month. It is definitely worth the $10 a month to to invest in your business for this. You can create this. This would be an example. Pretend like these are social media posts, even though those all look the same. Pretend like, because these are all different, this is exactly how I do social media posts. So I would create this template and this template and this template, and I would have them just like this. See how they all look different? All right. So I've got a set of 30 that all look different, but they're branded with the same color. And I can go in and I can create my content, whether it be in, OneNote or on paper or whatever. And then I can come in and I can copy and paste into, or FreeWrite or however, into this and create 30 posts at one time. Okay, so it's an amazing, amazing thing. If I go to the home section here, whoops, I go right here. You'll see that it'll show all of your designs. If I wanted to create a design, there are an amazing amount of designs that you can create. So everything, it'll show you your last ones that you've used. Instagram is the one that I use for social media because it's a little bit bigger and it's a square, and a square works on all networks. But everything from magazine covers to posters to flyers to business cards, logos, everything under the sun, not even social media related. But I did want to show you, create a design. Oh my gosh. Let me see, Facebook. Let me show you what comes up when you do Facebook. All right, so we've got Facebook ad, Facebook app ad, Facebook cover, Facebook event cover, Facebook post, which again, you heard me say, I use Instagram to post on Facebook so that they're square and I can use them across the board, because obviously I use social media automation software. So I do not use the Facebook post size. Facebook video, Facebook story, birthday Facebook event, fall Facebook cover, and quote Facebook story. So tons of those. But Facebook cover, I'll just show you really quick. It'll come up and it'll show you where your little profile is. And then so you can fit, well, it typically will show here the thing. So, but I think that we're to the part where we have caught up to where the video recording started. So be sure to click to watch the next video where we're going to go through Canva and we're going to have talk about a little bit about automation, and then we're going to have live Q&A where there were some great questions and we talked about things from Instagram hashtags to lots of different things. So stay tuned and go to the next one. Thanks.